Can you build a 10-story building in a day? You must think it's a crazy idea. A multi-story building must take months to build. But this company in China did the impossible. They built a 10-story apartment building in 28 hours and 45 minutes. They claim to hold the record for the world's shortest construction period for such a building. How is such a feat possible? Did they perform a miracle? The construction was a coordinated project by the Broad Group of China. The best part is that Broad Group was initially outside the construction business. They were manufacturing air conditioning systems. It was June 5, 2021. The apartment building they built in Changsha, China was 10 stories tall and made with modular technology, where prefabricated units were assembled on-site using cranes and a team of workers. The project was completed in a way no old-school construction could compete. Let's see how this was possible. The company that undertook the mammoth task was no ordinary one. The Broad Group is headquartered in Changsha, China, and started its business in 1988. The company initially dealt with air conditioning systems and later diversified to clean energy, prefabricated buildings, and transportation. Broad's sustainable building business, which made the ultra-fast building possible, was established in 1996. They currently export prefab products to over 60 countries. Green initiatives and innovation have always been at the core of the Broad Group's business. They are recognized as one of the few Chinese companies committed to climate change. The company's chairman, Zhang Yu, could not attend school until he was 9 years old due to the political instability of China in the 1960s. He started the company with a capital of $3,000, building industrial boilers according to his patented design. Zhang has grown his initial investment of $3,000 to his current personal wealth of $1.5 billion. The Broad Group products are available in 80 countries and have 3,000 employees. In 2012, Broad Sustainable Building Company, BSB, captured the media's attention by announcing a bold plan to build Sky City 1, the world's tallest tower, 838 meters tall. It would be more than just the tallest building. The company would finish construction in 90 days. Broad Sustainable Building is an innovative housing design that achieves high energy efficiency and carbon footprint reduction by installing 8.5-inch thick thermal insulation. The insulation prevents cool air from leaving the building and hot air from entering the building. Holon Building's 8.5-inch rock wool thermal insulation equals having a 30-foot concrete wall in your high-rise. As the entire world witnessed its stunt with the construction of the Living Building in 2021, the construction time of a Broad Sustainable Building is very short, as its modules are prefabricated in the Broad Group's giant 2.5 million square feet off-site factory. The technology involved is groundbreaking and has received international praise. At the United Nations Climate Change Conference 2010, the President of Mexico, Felipe Calderón, praised BSB, calling its technology a new revolution in the world's agriculture and housing industry. The secret of ultra-fast construction lies in Broad Sustainable Building's prefabricated modular units. It's almost like playing with Legos. The container-sized modules are steel-framed and use the company's unique B-core panels as walls, roofs, and floors. Each unit is 40 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 10 feet high. These are finished at the factory to a high level of completion, including wiring and water supply. However, identical units offer only a limited variation in housing units built. The Broad Group kept it simple, but they were fast, very fast. 56 modules already fabricated at the factory were transported to the site, and they used 3 large cranes to lift the modules to place. While the assembly took a little over 1 day, construction of the modules took 15 days back at the factory. Then, the units were bolted into the base column pier. The building had no other columns. To support the load of the modules, joists are installed every 4 to 6 meters. One floor is then completed by unfolding the floor. One of the most intriguing features of the model is the folding floor. It folds up during transportation and then folds down after installation of the unit. Modules are installed in a checkerboard fashion with gaps in between, increasing the floor's square footage. Window boxes and balconies spread out of the building, expanding the space of the housing unit. The stainless steel construction of the module makes the units 10 times lighter than the concrete fabrications. The Broad Group avoided using concrete in their design as the manufacture of concrete emits a large amount of greenhouse gases. Floor panels are then intermittently welded together and sealed with structural adhesive. Should you think twice about living in a multi-story building held together by glue? Don't worry, It is the same adhesive used in aircraft manufacturing to bond metal to metal. The completed building had a floor plan of 32,000 square feet. All interior furnishings and each unit's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing were finished at the factory. When the company finished assembling the structure, it was ready to move in. They call it a turnkey building. It was just a matter of tightening the bolts and connecting the water and electricity at the project site. BSB claims that their building would last for 100 years, whereas the lifetime of a concrete structure is estimated at 60 years. True to their green initiative, stainless steel is recyclable, whereas concrete turns to rubble when dismantled after the usable life of the building. The modular design, which helps the green group to assemble the building ultra-fast, also allows them to take down and reassemble the structure elsewhere if needed. The company claims their prefabricated hold-on buildings can withstand earthquakes up to magnitude 9 and typhoons. Since the modular units, which look just like any other container, are manufactured and finished in the factory to a high degree, construction waste is reduced by 95%. Due to its similarity in size to a standard container, shipping a hold-on building unit from one place to another by land or sea is easy. It can be shipped without placing the unit in a container. The walls, floor, and roof are made of the company's signature structural material, B-Core. The B-Core panel is made from stainless steel, which is 95% less corrosive than carbon steel, as claimed by the company. The B-Core slab is made with two 304 stainless steel plates, with thicknesses ranging from 1.5 millimeters to 6 millimeters, with hundreds of core tubes sandwiched between the plates. Once completed, each panel is 2 meters wide and 12 meters long. The B-Core slab is heat resistant up to 1100 Celsius, and it took the company over a decade to develop the signature panel. The Broad Group ventured into the modular construction field to speed up the construction cycle. They believe manufacturing the modular units at the factory is 20% more efficient than traditional on-site construction, which is achieved by reducing the number of workers by 70%. Broad Group factories in China are fully automated, reducing labor costs. Modular construction has been practiced with various degrees of success and popularity since the Second World War. Emergency housing schemes in the 1940s to 1950s were constructed with modular buildings, enabling fast construction, but those were much simpler than the solutions offered by the Broad Group's hold-on buildings. The famous living building construction went viral in the media, but it was not the first time the Broad Group built a prefabricated building. The company has constructed almost 30 buildings with prefabricated units, including its head office building in China and a hospital in Korea. The Broad Group spent nearly $650 million to perfect the technology, but it's unclear whether they recovered their investment. One major factor affecting the venture's profitability might be its extensive use of stainless steel, which is virtually avoided in construction due to its cost. While the material has merit in its longevity, many 100-year-old buildings worldwide are doing perfectly fine with a coat of inexpensive paint. The company attracted similar attention when it built a 57-story skyscraper in Hunan, China in 19 days. They were able to assemble 3 floors in a day at a time. The building was called Mini Sky City, after its Sky City Tower project. The Sky City was to be the tallest building on Earth, standing at 220 stories and built using prefabricated modular units. The company planned to complete 95% of the construction work in its factory before commencing on-site work. Fabrication of the modular units was to take 6 months, but actual construction or the assembly on the building site was to be completed in just 90 days. Are you impressed? But they did not build the tower. The ambitious project was scrapped.